All right. Top of the hour. I am live. The doors are open for the tribe. All right. I think we're tuned up now. And the doors are open. Just waiting for the tribe to show up. All right, tribe. Enter and sign in. Z's here. I had faith somebody would show up tonight. So as always, first person or people in get the best virtual seats in the house. So come right up here to the foot of the stage. Doors are open, so we should have some other tribes members signing in pretty quickly. Good to see you. I guess the outage is over, right? Yeah, it's been like I was in Michigan for a week, so hope you did okay and got our all finished in at least record time or on time and back online again. Sweet. A little over, not bad. They were at 70% power this afternoon. Cool. All right. Powering back up. Well, I was just thinking yesterday and then today, it's been, I left in 2010. I think April. Can't believe it's been 14 years and I've never been back. 14 years since I left. But I still have another 12 years to go to equal the amount of time I was there, which was 26 years. I think 26 and a half, actually. I know you're well over 30. But man, I was there a long time. It's hard to believe I've been gone 14 years. Kind of doesn't seem like it, but I don't know. Hasn't changed much. That's either good or bad, depending. So when I left, we had just come out of Column 4. A big celebration. What was it called? The CAL, the something confirmatory action letter thing, all that stuff. So, and at the time, we were actually the fastest plant to come out of that. And that was concerned by the regulators because they were concerned and if you recall, I spent my last 2 years in performance improvement, so all this stuff was like, we had 60% of the actions to recover that plant were in our group, which was insane. I think most of us leaders lost 5 years of our lives. I mean, 12 hours is the minimum. I was doing 14 and 16-hour days, and an hour and 20 minutes each way to my home in Gilbert if there was no traffic. Monday through Friday. We did not have Mondays off as leaders. It was, that 2 years just about killed me, but it was divine. It gave me the skills to go out and be a consultant, so I was grateful for that. But I remember we recovered out of 16 months, I think, and the regulators were concerned that the organization had not had enough time to anchor the behaviors. I can't even believe I know this language and I'm still talking like this. After 14 years, well, I'm not talking, but it just comes up. Because I was at ground zero with that performance improvement group and leading that advocate team and teaching human performance behaviors and all that. So they were concerned we hadn't anchored the behaviors across the organization long enough to sustain slipping back down, but I don't think you guys have, right? I would probably know. You and on occasion JK are the only two people I'm really in contact with at the plant, and I have no idea how things are functioning out there. So when you go for a refueling outage and come back online, that's good news. And I don't read about anything on the local web pages, so no news is good news. The plant's out there just humming along. But I can't believe it's been 14 years. Man. Gene's here. Hello, welcome. 36 for you in Feb. Yeah, I spent 26 years at that plant. Amy would, there she is. Speaking of, there's the Batgirl. Amy and I were coupled at the time, so she remembers how tough that was, that life. And I would fly out and visit her, and work always followed, unfortunately. Then I went to San Onofre and then H.B. Robinson, so Amy Ellis Knightley, she had her finger on the pulse of what a difficult industry that was and stuff. But there are also some awesome, awesome opportunities that came my way. I've never looked back. I'm grateful. Even after I came home and things got hard and that kind of stuff, I took some time and healed my body after that terrific crash. It took a year for my head to clear. I had mind fog for a year. I remember Rose Majors had been my director. We would talk to each other, and I said, she retired, and then her husband retired a couple of years ago out of ops. And I said, how long did it take your brain fog to clear if you had it? She goes, oh, I don't know, like 2 months. And for me, it was an entire year. Like, I had no short-term memory. And then all of a sudden, one day, it was just all cleared up. So I took time to live, and that's when I filled up my house, bought my motorcycles, did a 9,300-mile motorcycle trip across the country, met new friends, some of which have passed away, got ordained, put in a recording studio, like all that stuff that led me to my my current small business as an LLC holder and a licensed massage therapist. The school I went to has since closed. If I had not come home then, none of this would have happened. And despite the trials and tribs and ups and downs, I'm really grateful for this life. And the trajectory that's put me on. I'm also grateful for that industry, as soul-robbing as it could be, especially in a leadership position. That was tough. Amy has a good memory. She will remember, or would remember, those late night conversations and how stressful it was. Even when you were taking time off, it's like you just, it still followed you. You're like on call. And anyway, so good for you. You're still out there, and you should be looking forward to retirement day at some point and starting your second chapter. I'm sure it's on your radar screen. 36 years in February. It's better than that time. That I'm glad to hear. So when you said it hasn't changed much, it's still better. Good. You guys deserve that. Kevin says, I know I've already been gone 8 years. Wow. So he says, it was anchored. So, the organizational behaviors. That's good news. Amy remembers, she always had so much work. Even when I would visit her, it's like still on the phone and stuff to do. And I just hated that. But it's like there's just no way out of it. But life has gone on. So, oh yeah, you still work from home except for outages. Containment coordinator, right? All that stuff. Rose is great. I know, she checks in occasionally. She brought an exchange student over to my house when I put my studio in from Germany. She was 16, and I recorded her doing a cover of somebody's song. I don't know. And I think I sold. Oh, I had a big rear projection TV screen. Before I got a 50-something inch before I got my 80-inch flat screen. And Rose, I think I just gave it to her to give to her daughter or something, or her granddaughter. Yeah. Love Rose Major. She was awesome to work for. Man, she fought with management all the time because she just called them out on ridiculous decisions. But she was great as a support. She was an excellent mentor. Fun to be around, always great person, great leader. I didn't really know Don, I just knew of him, so I have no doubt of that. Rose told me way back then, because I can't even imagine what being a shift supervisor and manager was like back then. But Rose told me when he came home in the evenings for his days off, just full of stress, she would have a drink ready for him, and his thing was he would play video games online on TV. That was his stress relief, and she like loved that. And I loved hearing that story. Complete opposite from his work life. It's so funny. So said, yeah, work from home. Rose is great. So is Don. Amy says, yeah, I remember. Oh, I'm trying to hold on. Hang on. I remember you were working almost around the clock. Yeah, it was insane. And Mike McCabe's here from Michigan, and you are correct. Especially as a contractor, I tripled my take-home pay. I didn't have insurance after that. After 30 years, I tripled my take-home pay, and I had so much fun with that money. I knew what it was like to be Elvis Presley. I gave away, and it was so much fun to help people and single moms that were contractors at the plants that needed tires, and I would hear those stories, and I'd go grab them privately and say, "Can I help gift you?" I paid for people's groceries in line behind me, and I would run out of the grocery store with tears in my eyes because I was felt so just incredibly blessed to be able to do that. It's not about me; it's just the opportunity. Mike's right. Back then, man, that was insane, and I made good use of it. I saved it and I gave away a lot to help people, and I loved doing that. Kevin says, knowing you for 40 plus years, I'm amazed how you reinvent yourself over and over and succeed every time. Man, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just blessed and I'm just following it. I do hit more than I miss. I like to think that. Amy says, you helped so many people. You were wonderful, Stuart. Oh, thank you. It made my heart swell to be able to do that. Yes. I have such gratitude. I'll get to some music in a second. So I remember this day clearly. I got to San Onofre, and my first 2 weeks there, I would come from the plant. So I went from an hour and 20 minutes each way, and at least an hour each way for 26 years, to about 14 minutes from my rental to the plant in San Clemente, and 14 minutes, 12 minutes in the morning, there wasn't much traffic, and 14 on the way home in the afternoon, just working 8-hour days as a contractor. And I was like, oh. And I was 7 minutes by foot to the San Clemente Pier and beach. Because those last 2 years at Palo Verde, I had no vacation. So I said, this is going to be my summer vacation for an entire year, and it was. So after my first 2 weeks there, I would come in on Camino de Real, is a main like mile and a half that goes through San Clemente. It's not very long, but it's built up on the mountainside. And I had always said, one day I want to have a black fill in the blank, a nice kind of car in black. And I always said, it will never be a European car. Well, the universe laughed at me and taught me that every time I said never, 2 or 3 of them would show up in my garage in the form of cars, motorcycles, or guitars. So I stopped saying never. So after my second week there, I was driving home one day, and there's this place called Frank's Foreign Auto. I'm sure you can look it up. It's still there. And they did auto repair on foreign cars, and they also had used cars out there for sale. And I saw this cute little black Mercedes convertible. And I drove by it one day, I drove by it the next day. The next day I pulled in and just kind of drove around it. And then the next day I pulled in and stopped. And this guy came out with this long ponytail, this surfer dude who was awesome, not a pressure car salesman. His name was Sergio. I don't remember his last name. He said, hey, can I help you? And I said, I've been driving by this car. And so he let me take a look at it, and I forgot what the price was. So I went back to my rental, and I got on Google, and I Googled that car in the local area, and I found one. About 20 minutes away, just north of where I was in Orange County. So I called the guy, and he had a newer one, and it was in really good shape. And I called him, and so he met me. Of course, he was smart. He drove up, met me in a parking lot with the top down. We exchanged seats, and he goes, now be careful, drive safe, Bruce. And I went, dude, I'm from Arizona. I'm a safe driver. But he had the top down, the radio blaring, and I was sold. Anyway, the short story is, it's an awesome story, but I ended up buying that car. And there was a friend I worked with there, and her name was Lauren, and she had worked as a contractor in my department at the plant before I left. So she and another guy was a contractor left, and they both ended up at San Onofre, and then I ended up there. So it was like a Friday. So it was a Saturday. So I found a credit union that did joint checking with my credit union, and we met on a Saturday, and I had this little 2008 Nissan Sentra that was cute and burgundy in color. So Lauren and I drove to the credit union, gave the guy the check. He was this awesome dude. He'd been a cyclist too, so we had that in common. He spent 20 minutes showing me how to operate this car because I'd never had a car like this. So Lauren followed me back to my bungalow in the Sentra, and then we spent the rest of the day on PCH1, driving up and down, getting fish tacos, going through like secondhand shops and stuff. And I remember on the weekends I would drop the top, go to I-5, and I had this Bon Jovi song playing, and Love's the Only Rule, my favorite one. And by the time I got on I-5 and hit the gas, there was this dip, and it launched me onto I-5 at like 70, 75 miles an hour to keep up with the traffic. And I had a Bon Jovi cranking, sunglasses on. I was in tears, not from the wind. It's because I could not believe 2 months before then, I was just like in the darkest of depression about that plant and my job. And all of a sudden, here I am, launched and I've got this car that took me a month to accept the fact I was worthy of having that car. And I was like, whose life is this? I'm in Southern California. Bless me, thank you. I'm on the weekends, I got Starbucks, I got the top down, I'm driving 75 miles an hour with the traffic, I got Bon Jovi cranking, and on the weekends I would just take trips by myself up the coast, and it was like, I'm making 3 times the money I was like, what has just happened? So that's when I went, I just got to share this. So Amy would remember a lot of that. I just could not believe I was living that life, like the life of Riley. Man, it's like, oh. And I was so blessed. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I'm 22 minutes in, I haven't even sung a song. Anyway, I archive these shows because someday when I'm not here, not to get morbid, you'll be able to go back and say, oh, where's that show where Bruce talked about the very short Reader's Digest version, the short form version of going out consulting, and you're flying by the seat of your pants day by day. But by the time my year was up at San Clemente, both the director the guy I worked for, the manager, and performance improvement, and there's a director of chemistry that I worked with, his people said, if I had budget money, I'd keep you here. That was like confirmation. I was so grateful that somebody just valued what I was doing. So then I went to South Carolina, I got hit, decided it was time to come home after a year, and they were going to extend my contract to stay. So that was another thank you very much validation, but it's time to go home and figure out what I'm going to do and heal. So I did. Okay, enough talking. Let me get caught up. And he says, you helped so many. I did. I did my best to. And it would put me in tears often. I was so grateful. Kels is here. Good to see you. Lynn White, you deserve it all. Oh, Lynn White. I need to sing music, but I could just go on about Lynn White. So I had this shift for 12 years. I was a section leader, mid-level supervisor. I worked mids too, the mid shift. And I was so blessed. I took over that shift and we had the union president and one of the chief stewards on my shift, and it was in turmoil, and it took me 2 years to gain their trust. But I would walk over 2 in the morning to the units and sit there with coffee and just chat with those people so they could get to know me. And that was beautiful. And then the shift had nothing really to do with me. I've always said that. I ended up with this great group of eclectic people that, first of all, were great, great, great workers. And second of all, they were so much fun. And it had nothing to do with me. They just came to the shift, and Lynn was one. And at 2 in the morning, Lynn would do the weather check, which you should not do, but I just believe, just like I was in the Air Force, working nights, some of the best supervisors let you, you got to stay awake and do stuff. And I felt the same way. So I won't get into it, but I allowed some liberties that didn't jeopardize our job, but that you wouldn't find on other shifts. And I thought that was the right thing to do. And Lynn, he would do the weather check at like 2 in the morning. He would key the mic and give all this weather and stuff. which you shouldn't have allowed by FCC communications, but I thought it was funny and it gave everybody something to look forward to. And Lynn was one of those definite characters on my ship that I loved to have. He was awesome. And so, yeah, so that's that story. Anyway, I've got music here. I've got some stuff that I've been playing over the last couple of weeks that I've done like once, and I said, you know, I need to pull out some of the. I hate using lyric sheets, but there are times where I just need to because I've been trying new stuff because I try to keep the content fresh for all of you, as you know. Z says a lot of cookouts. So I did do that. We would do cookouts like 3 or 4 times a year. And I would have people just like give what they could. Then I would go to Costco and I would pay for the rest of it. This sounds so self-serving. It's really not about me. I didn't care. And we would cook out, have steak cookouts like on a Saturday night when I worked. And I would look at the schedule. If we had people working overtime from John Kessner's shift, I would just buy extra stuff. You could either have steak or chicken, and I would go to Costco and get these steaks, and people would just give a couple of bucks, and I would cover the rest. And then I'd buy steak and chicken, and then if somebody was working overtime, I would buy extra, just so we had enough. If they wanted to eat, they could eat on my shift. So, and then I would get, because I was with the volunteer clown troupe, I would put my clown makeup on, and I would go out riding on a bike. This is in a nuclear power plant, the second largest on the planet and largest in the country at the time. I might be one of the only guys that has done that. And it was a cast operator, Joe Davis, would announce me, the clown is out, and that signaled the start of what was going to be the cookout. Like at 8 o'clock at night, I would go riding around in my clown outfit on a bicycle. It's so funny to think of, but I did it at the nation's largest nuclear power plant. And my cast operator would get on the radio and signal to all the security posts and patrols that there's a clown. And that started to kick off, and then I would go. We'd like that big grill, and we'd cook food for people, and we did stuff like that on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I would set up Christmas movies down underground in that big place where we'd have cookouts, and people would bring for Christmas, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would have a big spread, and people would just bring stuff, and I would put on a big movie player there, like It's a Wonderful Life or Christmas movies. So when people had like 20 minutes to sit down and eat, they could just relax and enjoy it. I just thought those were the right things to do for people, and it was wonderful. I had a great shift. Anyway, okay. Yeah, Z said lots of cookouts. I would stop by when I was in ops. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'd walk over because we were cooking out obviously above ground and everything. And he says that was nice of you, but you're the only one. I might be. I don't remember. Z and Lynn would probably remember. There might be other people that did cookouts, but I can tell you that nobody did them like we did. And it was my other leaders and my shift people too. They all made it happen. That was fun. Yeah, the movies were because everybody would bring a big buffet, and it was my office was underground in this facility, and that's huge conference tables. And so that's where everybody would do the spread. And I'm like, rather than just sitting here and eating, and let's put on, they had these big VHS tapes for company training movies. So I would bring in VHS movies and just let them play. So you could have something to watch. It was fun. It was to celebrate the holidays. It's like, none of that was a great effort, but it just, you had to be at work. You may as well enjoy it on a holiday. And making triple time wasn't a bad incentive. Okay. Z says, Anita said you were her best boss. Oh, thank you. Well, she was great too because she's one of the few people that can say that she actually sang Christmas carols in the control room of an operating nuclear plant because she was on my team and we did that too. I brought my guitar. It was awesome. Oh, I meant the only one dressed as a clown. I can probably certifiably say that's true. I'll take credit for that. Lynn, your Christmas songs are great. It was amazing. You kept it rolling. Oh yeah, yeah. None of that took a lot of effort. It's just, I don't know. I enjoyed mostly the people on my shift. There were some rough times, but we had great people. Nita was there. She's one of them. Lynn was there. He's one of them. Yeah, I was a servant leader. I believed in that and still do. Z says that's true. Yeah. All right. Gosh, I've been talking for a half hour. It's okay if you guys go get some music going. I won't take a minute. All right. I would say let me get my vocals warmed up, but they are. So let me get some fingers warmed up and let's get some music going. Thanks for tuning in for this edition of Wind Down Wednesday, and listen to me for whatever reason. Wax philosophical and retrospect and talk about days gone by. Z still out at that plant? Man, when I started on September 12th, 1983, 4 days before my 23rd birthday, fresh out of the Air Force on July 5th. Unit 1 had just received fuel. That tells you how old I am. None of them were online. As a matter of fact, there was no protected area. I know this is like Greek for people that are non-nuclear, it's okay. I was there. We had a 24-hour outage once trying to put that protected area in Unit 1 to get it online. So I was there when there was no protected area, and I was there just as we received fuel from Unit 1, and Unit 3 had just topped off. And every time they topped off construction on the containment building, they would put an American flag on top. So when I started there's an American flag floating on top of Unit 3 containment building. That's how long ago that was. I hear the clock, 6 a.m. It feels so far from where I've been. I've got my eggs, I've got my pancakes too. I've got my maple syrup, everything but you. Break the yolks and make a smiley face. I kinda like it in my brand new place. I wipe the spots off the mirror. Don't leave the keys in the door. I never put wet towels on the floor anymore, 'cause dreams last so long, even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Called my mom, but she was out for a walk. Consoled a cup of coffee, but it didn't want to talk. So I picked up the paper. It was more bad news. More hearts being broken, more people being used. Put on my coat, the pouring rain. I saw a movie, it just wasn't the same, 'cause it was happy and I was sad, yeah. It only made me miss you oh so bad, 'cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, I go about my business and I'm doing fine. Besides, what would you say if I had you on the line? Same old story, not much to say. Hearts are broken every day. Brush my teeth and put the cap back on. I know you hate it when I leave the light on. I pick a book up and turn the sheets down, yeah. I take a good long look around. Put on my PJs and hop into bed. I'm half alive, but I feel mostly dead. I try to tell myself it'll be alright. I shouldn't think any more tonight, 'cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. you love me, and soon I know you will say you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, there's a little Steve Polson Jewel kicking off this edition of Wind Down Wednesday. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for letting me jabber for the first half hour. I will give you more than 30 minutes worth of music should you elect to stay around. So thanks for hanging in there. Sip them if you got them. Let me get caught up on comments. He says, back when reactors were made of wood. Ha! Pretty much. Oh, man. Okay, what did I have here? Oh, yeah. They're in no certain order. I just went through some of them really quick, and there's an Eagles song that Amy recommended that I learned a year or so ago, and so I did. I still need the lyrics because I don't play it very often. So here we go. It's another tequila sunrise, staring slowly across the sky. Said goodbye. He was just a hired hand, working on the dreams he planned to try. Days go by. Every night when the sun goes down, just another lonely boy in town. And she's out running around. She wasn't just another woman, and I couldn't keep from coming on. Been so long. Whoa, and it's a hard feeling when it comes down to being friends. Never ends. Take another shot of courage. Wonder why the right words never come. You just get numb. It's another tequila sunrise. This whole world still looks the same. Another frame. Oh, that's a one-page lyric sheet. You think I would just have memorized that by now, but I'll play these when I don't practice during the week because I'm busy working and stuff. So, all right, what else have I got? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm not ready for that one yet. Let's save this one for after. Okay, I played this last week from Michigan. I want to do it again because I haven't done this in a while. I just felt like I was pulling out lyrics and going, oh, I'm kind of in any kind of mood, just like, oh, Wind Down Wednesday. And I was like, oh, I just now realized that's why. These are like easy going, middle of the road. They used to call them on the radio, MOR, middle of the road pop song kind of things, but they have a certain nice relaxing vibe. So I don't use a set list. I just kind of let my muse guide me, and so I went, okay, this one's good, this one's good. So she must have been on my shoulder saying, pick that one, play that one. It's like, I did this last week, but I haven't done it in a long time. Any new check-ins? No comments? Amy says, sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, I don't play that one very often. I love that song, though. Sheryl Crow. Love this song. I did this, one of my sets last week from Michigan. I love this song. Come to me now. Lay your hands over me. Even if it's a lie, say we'll be alright. And I shall believe. I'm broken in two. I know you're on to me, that I only come home when I'm so all alone, but I do believe that not everything is gonna be the way you think it ought to be. It seems like every time I try to make it right, it all comes down on me. Please say, honestly, you won't give up on me. I shall believe, I shall believe. Open the door, show me your face tonight. I know it's true, no one heals me like you, and you hold the key. Never again I turn away from you. I'm so heavy tonight, but your love is alright, and I do believe that not everything is gonna be the way you think it ought to be. It seems like every time I try to make it right, it all comes down on me. Please say, honestly, you won't give up on me. I shall believe, and I shall believe, I shall that not everything is gonna be the way you think it ought to be. It seems like every time I try to turn around, it all comes down on me. Please say, honestly, you won't give up on me. I shall believe, I shall believe, I shall believe. I shall believe. Please say, honestly, you won't give up on me. And I shall believe. 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 Man, I love that song. I need to many times have you heard me say this? I need to learn that. I do. I love that song. Man, Sheryl Crow. I know she was huge in like late 80s and 90s. I don't know if people give, her enough credit. She's an incredible songwriter, and her chord phrasing are just beautiful. I've mentioned this before. I might have mentioned this when I was in Michigan when I played that song. There are a couple of albums or CDs to me that are just seminal. They're just like unbelievable. So obviously like Born to Run with Springsteen and a whole bunch of others. If you want to hear some truly great music, and I mean songs that will play a movie in your head. So Sheryl Crow, Get Wildflower, like the bakery, Wildflower. She recorded that album when she was with Lance Armstrong, and you'll see on that back, she says, for Lance. That album is just unbelievable. The Tapestry in that, Carole King, Tapestry, that's another great album from the 70s when I was like a kid. Wildflower. You Won't Be Sorry. It's a great album. And another one is by Jewel. Goodbye Alice in Wonderland. Can't even begin to tell you. Same thing. The songs on there are absolutely just beautiful. Both these women write their own stuff. They both play guitar incredibly. It's just awesome. So if you're looking for something you haven't heard before and you want to hear where you can put it on and just listen to song after song after song that like just takes you in different directions but is incredibly beautiful music, go get Sheryl Crow's Wildflower. The title song from that is just hauntingly, unbelievably beautiful. And get Goodbye Alice in Wonderland by Jewel. Two of the top albums, just, I can't even begin to describe them. Obviously, I'm lost for words. Go get those albums. If you're local, you can go to Zia here and find them probably there, cheap. They're just some of the most beautiful music I have ever heard. Those are incredibly great albums. Okay, I played this one time. Before I went to Michigan, this Billie Eilish song that I absolutely love. So I only did it once, so I had to go listen to it again to relearn some of the guitar stuff. But I remember some of you said you really liked it, and it's like it was my first time through, and I did okay. I kind of stumbled through it. What was the song I did in Michigan twice that I just like, oh, I sucked at that song. I don't remember. Anyway, so this one I love, so I had to go listen to the picking pattern this afternoon or this evening. So I wanted to do this one again, and her brother Phineas plays the guitar on this, and it's just beautiful. So I don't have the exact picking pattern, it's close, but I love this song by her. It's not true. Tell me I've been lied to. Crying isn't like you. Ooh. What the hell did I do? I've never been the type to let someone see right through. Ooh. Maybe you won't take it back. Say you were trying to make me laugh, and nothing has to change today. You didn't mean to say I love you. I love you, and I don't want to. on another red eye. I wish we never learned to fly. Maybe we should just try to tell ourselves a good lie. I didn't mean to make you cry. Maybe you take it back. Say you were trying to make me laugh, and nothing has to change today. You didn't mean to say I love you. I love you. I don't want to. Ooh. Smile, smile that you gave to me even when you felt like dying. We fall apart as it gets dark. I'm in your eyes in Central Park. There's nothing you could say or do. I can't escape the way I love you. I don't want to, but I love you. Ooh. I gotta work on that some more. I'm still trying to get a feel for that 16 to 18 times it takes for me to play something before I'm kind of in the groove on it. But I think for probably the lack of getting in that groove, the guitar work fortunately carries me through it because it's such a simple melody. So anyway, I've only done that once before, and I stay up late at night watching YouTube videos, and this was one. The album and they do a live version. I love that. Anyway, I love that song. That's only the second time I've done it, and I haven't practiced it since I did it last, which was probably a month ago. But I love listening to it. Amy says, pretty nice rendition, thank you. Yeah, it's a little choppy, but I'm glad you liked it. A couple of you said you liked it last time, the first time I did it, so I thought, oh, I should pull that out again. I don't think I need the lyrics for this, but I have them here just in case. I haven't done this in a while. This is from that Phantom of the Opera movie. Oh, with Gerard Butler. And my friends in Michigan said Phantom of the Opera is because it finished its like 30-year run, I think, not only on Broadway, but I saw it like over 20 years ago here in Tempe. It was unbelievable. It's like watching a movie, but it was real. The effects were so great. And Shelley said that Phantom of the Opera is going to be reprised again next November. A year from now, I think it's in Philadelphia, and then they're going to put on a tour after that. So I have to wait almost an entire year, but Plant a seed. If that comes near you, you've never seen Phantom. Like I haven't seen Les Mis. I've never seen Cats, any of those, but I've seen Phantom. Unbelievable. So if you get a chance and it comes, make a mental note a year from now. It's worth seeing. All right, Minnie Driver actually did the vocals. She was in that. She was in that movie version of with Emmy Rossum and Gerard Butler back in 2007 or 8. Great movie. So Minnie Driver did this song from that movie. I think I've got the lyrics memorized. I can't even see them very well without my cheaters, but I'm gonna see if I can get through it. I haven't done this in a while. Child of the wilderness, born into emptiness, learn to be lonely, learn to find your way in darkness. Who will be there for you, comfort and care for you? Learn to be lonely, learn to be your one companion. Never dream out in the world there are arms to hold you. You've always known your heart was on its own. So laugh in your loneliness, child of the wilderness. Learn to be lonely, learn how to love life that is lived alone. Learn to be lonely, life can be loved, life can be lived alone. Oh, I love that little song. I haven't done that in a while. So I was going through these lyric sheets of songs that I just do like once and then maybe not do again for a while. So that one is like, I haven't done that in so long, so I went through the chord progression. I said, okay, I can do it. I didn't even sing all the way through it. It's like, I think I know it enough to be able to do that. So I like that song. I'm just kind of in a mellow wind down Wednesday vibe. So I picked out songs that I thought would accompany that vibe for all of you, my Wind Down Wednesday tribe. Thanks for letting me pontificate and just chat for like the first 30 minutes. So I'm going to go overtime if you have the time to stick around. Or let's see if anybody's joining us. That's why I was, and you can hear whatever I was talking about, my former career and stuff when I put this on archive for the first half hour. So just talking. Gene says, the way they make the catacombs look so real on stage. I know. That's what I tell people. I saw it at Grady Gamage. And when he was rowing her underneath those, the fog came right off the edge of the stage. Like you couldn't tell it was there. And I was like, this is like watching a movie only in real time. The effects were incredible. It was a great show. So they're going to take it on the road again a year from now. I want to see it again. I've only seen it once. Z says, oh, the way Les Mis in London at the Palace Theatre. Oh, where you saw it, where it played for over 25 years. So I watched Les Mis flying. Oh, when I went to Michigan, time before this one, and I got caught up in that worldwide outage, but I met my friend Abby and those other musicians. So I watched Les Mis, part of it on the first leg to Chicago, because I got redirected. It was a 19 and a half hour travel day, which I would do again to meet the people that I met. Complete serendipity. then I watched the second part of it. So it's a Hugh Jackman movie. I'd never seen the movie. I just read a little bit about it. It was like, oh man, on a stage, this must be awesome. 25 years, wow. Lynn says, now for the weather. Here's the weather. Here's the weather report. Lynn White would read this over the radio at 2 o'clock in the morning. It is 60 degrees, 21% humidity, and the wind is 2 miles per hour. Dude, I wouldn't have even thought to ask you to do that. That is perfect. That will be archived into perpetuity because I archive these shows and they're going to be here forever. Mike says, saw Phantom and ate at Mama Leon's 5-course Italian dinner. I've heard of that. Where was that? Must have been New York. Awesome. 5-course Italian. Oh, man. I love Italian. Love to make it, along with Mexican food. Italian's wonderful. My Perché, NYC. For some reason, I thought so. Let's see. All right, what goes along with all those? Please come to Boston for the springtime. I'm staying here with some friends and they got lots of room. You can sell your paintings on the sidewalk, buy a cafe where I hope to be singing the same. Please come to Boston, she said no, but you come home to me. And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Boston ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Please come to Denver when the snow falls. We'll move up in the mountains so far we can't be found. Throw I love you echoes down the canyon, and then lie awake at night till they come back around. Please come to Denver, she just said no, but you come home to me. And she said, hey, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Denver ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man in Tennessee. Now this drifter's world goes round and round, and I doubt if it's ever gonna stop. But of all the dreams I've lost and found, and all that I ain't got, I still need to lean to somebody I can sing to. Please come to LA to live forever. The California life alone is just too hard to build. I live in a house that looks out over the ocean, and there's some stars that fell from the sky, they're living up on it. Please come to LA, she just said no. Oh, then you come home to me. And she said, hey, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? LA can't be your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. So I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Great song is always a great song. I always thought that one was. That goes back to, I think, 7th grade, middle school for me. Dave Loggins has a cousin named Kenny, as I've shared before, that's done pretty good in the music business as well. All right, let's see. Probably ought to wind this thing down. On a Wind Down Wednesday. Thanks for staying with me for overtime because I chatted for like first half of the show. When I archive, you can go back and hear whatever I was talking about my prior career and just gratitude and all that stuff. So the man from Tennessee, I was thinking, there's another guy he's from Mississippi, but his famous house, second most visited private residence after the White House in the United States, is in Memphis, Tennessee, and you all know who that is. So when I was singing that line, is the man from Tennessee. It's like I should do a song by the man from Tennessee. So this is from Blue Hawaii. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't fall in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't fall in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't fall in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my own life too, for I can't fall in love with you, for I can't fall in love with you. Oh, I think that's a great song to end on. All right, my Wind Down Wednesday tribe. Thanks for staying with me on overtime as I made up for a little bit of lost ground because I did a lot of talking, but it's just the way it was meant to be, and I just followed that stuff. So glad to have you here. So let me get caught up on check-ins. Linda, the weather report, that was great. Mike saw Phantom and ate at a New York City restaurant. Amy says, thanks for the music. You're welcome. You're welcome, Z. You're welcome, Mike. Hope your cat enjoyed it. Just assuming so. This is a nice mellow set. I like breaking out stuff I've only done once or twice and going through the chord progressions once or twice, like a half hour before I go live and go, okay, I think I got this down and out. So there's a couple of gems in there that I need to memorize and make part of my staple of covers. You're welcome, Z and Mike. Have a great evening, Gene, too. You and Kev. Mike says, yes, there were two. What did Chuck Woolery used to do at the show? We'd be back in 2 and 2, 2 minutes, 2 seconds from a commercial break. So Mike has two tonight there. Awesome. Len, thanks for checking in wherever you may be, my friend. That was fun for me, too. Thanks for the weather report. That was great. All right, as always, my tribe, namaste. The divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. Thanks for keeping yourselves healthy, those immune systems bolstered up. This is Wednesday, so some of us are sliding in toward Friday, the end of our work week. Thank you for being here. I will be back Friday night, as usual. Same bat time and channel, 7 p.m. MST. Amy says, Zoe loved it. Oh, yay, I'm so glad. Cats are so cool. They're so intuitive. They're like old souls. They might have been musicians in a past life, so they just like, I don't know why, but I love this stuff. They can't speak why, but they purr and join you for the music, so I'm glad. I feel like I'm just channeling stuff. So for four-legged fur babies too, as well as all of you. Thanks for tuning in. This was a great night of music. I do try to keep these set lists with fresh content, so they're not stale on the same old thing. Unless you want to hear it, I'm always glad to play those requests. So have a great rest of your wind down Wednesday, my tribe. I will look forward to seeing you again next time.